like that way better. I like the music, not the holiday. Hi! Welcome to my tiny tube. My name is Margie. I'm a Hayoke empath. I just like having these little talks. How I feel about things. I don't feel real great about this stuff on my face. I put too much. I just went. Oh my goodness, Mom's still sleeping, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to use her chair, talk about some stuff. It's getting pretty wild out there. People just need to be mindful of what they're tuning into. I tuned out of other people's loops a lot. Wow, I can really see my wrinkles. My age is catching up to me. I'm gonna start getting these jowls if I'm not careful. Oh, I'm just the old lady. I just like to clown around because life gets so serious that laughter is the only thing that can help relieve the weight, I found, and it's getting heavy out there. See, I don't look at the world like everybody else, so I invite anyone that's open and receptive, that recognize that we're a spiritual being having a human experience, that we're just a story. We're like a song on our playlist. That's what we are, based on the imprint, the energetic imprint from when and where we were born into this incarnate. And I was born on the 34th parallel, close to the 35th latitude. 3, 4, 1, 2. And then I had these coordinates within me, and these coordinates within me are magnetics based on my genetics, which attracts me to different parts of the globe. Like, you ever play air hockey? Like that, kind of. But there's the people that just get stuck in other people's loops. So I call them the born and raised, which create the perpetual frequency of the land of the stupid cousin. It's not me. I was never born and raised anywhere. I'm a traveler. I was never welcome in the tribe. So we're just radios, and we just do what we're tuned into. And I've traveled around so much. I've watched so many stagnant frequencies that just do the same things year in and year out, and I participated with their storylines. I did real good. I was in the military. I won wars. I went to war. I'm sorry for my service. If there's any other veterans out there, if you were ever sorry for anything that you did in the military under orders, it's okay to be sorry for your service, because I'm sorry for mine. Because it's just a bunch of men that can't do things themselves. They can't change a tire, so they tell us to go do their evil bidding for them. And it's stupid, and now the story's changing because people like me are telling the truth, and other people tell the truth, want to know what the truth is, so they're tuning into me. I just saw I had 26 people in the room. Now I have 8. Years and years I did these talks. I talked to nobody. Nobody for years. So it's cool, that 26 people flash into my reality, because I tell stories about things in which I lived, and I put together patterns to break the paradigm. I looked up the title of my talk today, Paradigm Drift, because sometimes I'll do that. I'll think of titles, and then I'll wonder if other people have the other thinking, and so I'll put it into a search engine, and evidently it was a TV show that was on the Sci-Fi Channel, where people could give 60-second theories They have 1 minute to present original theories that they think are going to change the world. And I've been doing these videos like this since March 26, 2017, sharing my actual life experience of how I got 8 anthrax vaccines, the changes that it did to my body and my mind. And then 15 years later, they gave the whole world these shots. And then now I'm watching these people go through their changes, but they didn't use their energy wisely like Mom taught me, because I was just a little autistic retard girl. That's what they said in 87. I thought they meant artistic, so I started drawing and painting. I was pretty good at it because I can create reality from my mind. I can copy what I see in my mind. And people that when they close their eyes and they see blank black, they don't understand people like me, because they don't have to slit. Because people like me, I don't got to slit the throat of a goat to get the same powers and abilities that the Fraternal Order of Butt stuff do to get their knowings. You know? They think if they in the life of someone that knows a lot, like they're going to retain that, all this weird, stupid stuff. It's fraternity, it's ritual, it's ceremony. I've been to my fair share. Mom had boyfriends, though, that recognized what they were. She dated this Vietnam vet one time that started, I sat on his lap and he said, go get the tube of toothpaste. Came back, got it, he sat down, turned it over. He was trying to explain it to Mom, but I was paying real close attention. It was Procter and Gamble, and they used to put little stars and stuff. They just want people to get they want beings to get. There are small groups that want to get large groups to put their life force energy into doing nonsensical stuff. Did you ever see that movie Trading Places? Go watch it. Go watch Trading Places. Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd. I was 8 years old when that movie came out. You don't think that people ruin people's lives just because they get their jollies from it? They do it all the time, and then they make movies about it. I've been saying for years that Washington, D.C. and Hollywood, they're the same. They're the same. Congress is no different than the producers of movies and television to get people to watch it, and then they're like, oh, this is reality. Programming. What is it? It's that's why they call it programming, to get people to create reality. Because if you get enough people to believe that the sky is green, then oh look, the sky is green. Do you see? Or red. And look, do you ever see an aurora borealis? Sky turns green, sky turns red. And not everybody's gonna have the same experience. Because I moved here from Salem, Oregon. I'm not in Fresno, by the way. I have family in Fresno. I put, just so people know, I do that to hit demographics. I put locations of where I am as the places I've been. So I'll put Crete, Greece. I'll put Napoli, Italy. I'll put New York City, New York, Omaha, Nebraska, San Francisco. Like, I've been everywhere, so I left a little bit of me everywhere I go. So today it's Fresno because I've been thinking about my sister, and she has daughters and sons that live there. So today it's Fresno, but I ain't in Fresno. I'm everywhere because I tap into the no place space. So the paradigm is breaking because other people are starting to see that, oh, you know what? If I move over here, my life is different. I don't know what that is. I don't read a lot because I'm too busy. I meditate and I go into the no place space where all the data and information is held. And then I go out in the nature. And then what I find out in the no place space is verified by what I see in my experience in Earth, and I get to see a lot of really cool stuff. Unfortunately, where I live is a portal where 7 people have thrown themselves off a really tall bridge. That is some crazy way to go. But I can understand it. I understand their pain that they're coming from is because they can't get the noise to stop. And I can help people calm that noise down. That's what I exist for. Because I lived through that noise. Is it a great book? If I'll check. Thank you for the. I appreciate recommendations. I just don't read. I take care of my mom, and sitting down and I think about like I think about what the writer was eating for breakfast the day that they wrote that page. Like it's hard to me to focus. I don't have Earth in my chart. If you know anything about astrology, see an oath. I gotta be careful. I took an oath one time, and it's for bullshit. You know. It's a psyop. So my oath, my personal constitution is basically built on things that I wasn't willing to do anymore for people. And when I was on Crete, when we bombed Iraq in 03, I got pictures right over here. I like to share them sometime to with people that are new. Because that's what the war is about. It's not about freedom. Look who in America is free. I want to create an environment. I have a vision that I'm trying to create a reality that I've been forming for a long time. And that's to make a travel center, because I just want to create a small place, and if I could invite one person in, I'll check it out if it's on like audio book. What was the name of it again? I guess I could look at the chat and take a screenshot. There. Now I got the book in there. Mintel. This is what I like. It was so weird because I stayed in this hotel. That's me in the panorama. Here's some crew chiefs. You know, like there's the flight. That's like, you know, they talk about OPSEC and stuff like that, operational security. Don't tell the enemy what we... Like, this is a picture I took, because I would get those disposable cameras, mind you. This is back in 06, 05. So that's off at Air Force Base. And I looked at it the other day from Google Earth. I said, how is it that I could look at it from... And everything's all different and changed because... It's just a production site. It's a place that in 2000s we started dress rehearsing to go to war, and then we did 911. Dude, my flight chief fucking almost fell down the stairs. Oh, America's under attack! And any dumbass with half a brain that saw any episode of frickin' Sesame Street could recognize what a controlled demolition was. So, you know, you got, see that, because my brother's one of them. He's a writer for the script. And he went the guys way that don't like getting their hands dirty. You know, there's the guys that get real worked up when they kill infantry, and then they find out, oh my God, I did things I couldn't even control myself, and then they figured out that they couldn't control themselves, and then they came back to America, and then they want to reenact the stimulus. They want to recreate what happens in their body when they get stimulated by really violent events. And now America's a third world country because of all the bullshit we perpetuated out there in places we have no business. So, like, look at it. Like, I mean, look at all the just like explosions, like house. Every time I see somebody didn't turn a wrench or do an inspection to make sure a gas line wasn't, like, somebody didn't do the work, because I was an inspector in the military. I was an age journeyman. I looked for discrepancies in machines, so when these machines were hooked up to aircraft, they wouldn't blow apart and people wouldn't die. Safety first. And then I go out in the world and I'm just like, man, people just seem like people just want to die. Why do people not want to die? Because I've been out here working this whole time. And what happens? What do I find out? There's like 3 generations, not 1, 2, but like 3 generations of fucking, out of shape men and women that just play video games. Like they did in the 80s. I was like, once you see what the pattern in the video game is, and you know how to beat it, and then people just want to keep beating it over and over. There's people out there that like they can't wipe their own ass. They can't wipe their own ass. So who's gonna help them? Like I can't be in here doing the same thing. And we're coming on the holiday season, which is another loop that people get stuck in. And I don't get stuck in, people do. People get stuck in and I'll visit people's loops. Okay, I'm in your loop. Happy blah blah. Merry this. Feliz Navidad. I'll visit, but and then I'll check back in about 8 years. Are you still doing the same loops? Yeah, okay. Like society is collapsing here, and because all these people lived in loops, and that's what I hear every time I hear, like, my family lived here their whole life. Like, then they live in a loop and they didn't do nothing to help nobody but themselves, but they got their ranch and their property, and they got their their patterns and their daily routines, and their vacations and stuff, and they didn't do nothing around. They didn't see that there's a lot of freaking nasty stuff in the world, and it only gets nastier because people don't have basic needs. So I want to make a place where people can go to take showers. Where beings can go, because not everybody are people and humans, where beings can go to take showers and cook a nice outdoor meal. And if you don't know how to cook, I'll cook for you. Mom's going to hang out. We're going to have critters everywhere because it'll be a pet rescue place, because that's always a problem. I just want to make a place where people can come, not forever and stay and live, come and contribute, recharge your battery, and then go back out in the world and be that little light, that song, This Little Light of Mine. I want to do a punk rock. There's so many songs. I need to find a band. Because I want to do all these versions of music of songs I heard my whole life, like Sam Cooke's Cupid, or A Change Is Gonna Come. I always wanted to do A Change Is Gonna Come in punk rock, because I'm punk rock, I'm hardcore. I know I look like, people have their misconceptions of me, probably because I have misconceptions of people. I really try to go by people's energy and not by how they look, right? Because I've been my whole, but then I realized, they're not misgendering me because they think I'm a little boy. They're doing it because when people are misgendered, it makes them feel bad. They're trying to make me feel bad. See, I was one of those people that in the 80s, I'm like the roadmap, like, if I would have gone with the program, I would have had surgeries and my boobs cut off and pretend parts and might as well just wear a sock in your, whatever all that stuff is. But I know who I am. My name's Marge, a born female. I don't want to be a dude who needs parts that end up breaking, wearing out. That's another proponent of what war is about, that I make clear to people, that they understand, is that they do, infantry and all those battle that get to do the booms and booms, it's stimulus, it's boom, they get they feel, and then they equate that stimulation with like what it is to be a man, and then they feel like a man, and then they go do things, and then they're like, these women don't speak English, no one will ever know. And they do these things, and then they come back here, and then they're playing these tapes over, like, these terrible things that they did, and then their families want them, Daddy, come to the 4th of July parade, and then they think over and over about the stupid shit that they did. to be a man, you know, because they couldn't control themselves. Because I don't care what people are. You be a lizard, you be a Nephilim, half blood, whatever. I don't care what people are. You be a vampire. I don't care what people are. I'm more concerned about what people do with what they are. Because people can curb their desires. I've done it for years. Heck, I've been like, I'm what they used to call, like you get bodily sensations that will put me in category of something they could call a horn dog. Like I had lustful heart, like because I never looked at me. I just looked at me as the receiver, and then and I always thought women were so pretty, and they just smelled so much better, and they didn't have hairy butts like dudes, and all this stuff. So I always liked women. Plus, after I found out what happened when I was a 10-month-old baby, I just was turned off by all men. So, you know, my whole life people have said, no, you've just never found the right one. There is no right one for me. There just isn't. I don't know if there's a right one female gendered for me either. Well, we're coming into what I call is the age of the energetically androgynous. You know, like my whole life I've been bullied, picked on, put in my place, punished, ridiculed, freaking talked shit on, just because I am a girl with masculine energy, and for that reason only. And I've liked the same pretty girls that dudes like that are complete asshole, narcissist trash heaps. So I guess it's better that she went with them and not me. I'm a energetic tuning fork, and I know so much about astrology. Enough about here. I took this. Boop, boop, boop. Look at all the people that got to go for rides in helicopters. Because what they do, they had this guards group from San Bernardino. See, I was age, and they had permanent party. I came from Offutt. I was supposed to go to Turkey, but Turkey diverted. Jack was in Turkey. Sergeant Burrito was with Jack because Sergeant Burrito brought my ID to me because I left it on base someplace. Whoops. Like, and I wasn't, and because I was clown, I was always the clown. I would get in trouble because I was supposed to be serious, right? But I had to make jokes because, like, I'd wake up and turn on the TV and see all the destruction. I would see on the TV this stuff. And then I started figuring out how, you know, but then I got time off. And then I got to go play tourist. And how weird is it for collateral damage to be happening all the time, all night, and then go and play tourist during Orthodox Easter. That's when I was there on Crete. I have mixed feelings when I watch Under a Tuscan Sun. We came back into Napoli. That's a lot of history. See, because I feel the bean, I am just a radio receiver, and wherever I go, I am going to tune in on the history, energetic imprint on every place I go. And the places I've been, that's the thing. They're like significant places, and I didn't even know that they were places of significance until after I went. Like, yeah. Like the Earth's first chakra. I know a lot of people have been there. I grew up right by there. I broke my coccyx on Mount Shasta. It's just another portal. I got picked up by beings in the dark. It was so dark I could not tell what the beings were. All I know is that there were little giggling children in the back, and it was like in the middle of the night when all children should be sleeping. The experiences I've had are wild because that's my frequency. because that's my broadband. I have a broad spectrum. I am a spectrometer. I tell people like this, if you look at it in terms like this, like the color wheel. Okay, look at it in like every being that takes a breath on the earth. I'm not going to be able to find it now because I'm going to look for it, right? Because I want it. I don't know where it's out. I'm not supposed to talk about it, I guess. Okay, so what if I go here and give a smaller example? Where is it though? Confounded. Mom, one day we're going to have a place where we're going to have a place for everything. So, color wheel. I'm going to have to check out that show. So, I have a picture like this. Okay, so everybody is in this, okay? And every color is tied to emotion. And every emotion is also tied to a note, a harmonic, a frequency, all right? So this is when I say we are just songs, but people, they deny themselves. They deny aspects of themselves. I've always been masculine, denied the feminine. So, like pink, I don't have those octaves because that's for sissy la-las, right? So those are a whole lot of notes I don't have. So what I have to do is rise above my astrology and embrace things that are uncomfortable for me to be. I'm trying to make this as clear as possible and concise as possible because I want to save the time of having people to have to deal with, wade through Santos Bonacci's freaking ego and these other freaking, we say a good little part, but then the rest of us, I'm trying to tie it all together for people. So people in couple, that's why I have a whole ass movement that I'm trying to do. I made stickers. I came up with this picture when I was a 9-year-old girl. When that's the first time on Manzanita Lane in Redding, California. That's the first time like San Francisco talked about the rainbow flag for gays. And I even knew I liked girls. I knew that because I was a female and I liked females, that made me a gay. That still nobody gets the rainbow, right? Nobody gets the rainbow. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bloop, bloop. So I make these stickers and I give them to people. Burp sticker mule. They do pretty. I could take them. It's just a picture of my T-shirt that I make, and then it's like there were shadows on it, so it kind of made it look like clouds. So I just always use it over and over. Now I make magnets too. So I don't go outside much, around town much. But when I do, I usually make sure I have some of these in my pocket. And then when I see travelers, I get these little camping things. I need to order more of these, and then I can put the stickers. I got to be careful though where I put them, because if I put them someplace where they burn, that's silly. Anyway, so people are tuning in to the fact, you can't deny your feelings and stuff. People do. They can. It just causes cancer. It turns all that stuff black. That's how people get cancer. And when I get, and like diet choices, that causes cancer too. We're coming into a new age. When I was in the Air Force, I was an age ranger. That's what I did. So that's what I am. As above, so below. As within, so below. As without. Like, I'm an age ranger. I'm here to usher in the new age that, like, when you get mad, I don't know what. I just tell people what I do that helps, because people seem to think I look all right and act okay, and I don't have a criminal record, and I'm surrounded by criminals. So, I didn't choose the dark in a lot of times when I could. So, what I do is I have a couple of dumbbells. They're 20 pounds. They're over there, and when I feel powerless, I pick them up and I do sets of 111. I just upped it. I'm always trying to change and alter because I don't want to get stuck in a stagnant vibration. So I upped it. So I do 111 3 times. And then depending on what I'm going through, I'll do that a few times a day. So that helps me get through winter and all the snacks that I've been I've been blessed with that I get to share. I got to put them in baggies and go down cuz the weather's nice. It's not cold. All these people are having this horrible experience, like the worst thing they ever had, and I was like, man, if you got to go all those years, not that it doesn't suck that they're going through that. I don't want to take away from their experience. I just think that if that is the worst thing and you were that old and this is the worst thing that's happened to all these people you know, how did you duck life? And tell me how you did it, because the worst thing that ever happened to me happened when I was a 10-month-old baby. And my hip still pops, and when it gets cold, my pelvis hurts, and and then like I think all the other terrible things that have happened, and then I think, man, wow. But that's just my story, my tune. I have the same birthday. I think of it like this, okay? And so for every person, like where I'm born, I would look at it like over here in this color. I'm born on the 9th of April, okay? So I'm over here, right? And then like over here, to me, in my mind perception, this is like Scorpio, like Capricorn months, like cold, brr, icy, ice cold, no feelings, stoic. But then you have Virgo, you could throw that. Anyway, so how I look at things. But then I'm over here, right? And on this, but see, based on the timestamp of our birth, I want to know. I wonder if there's any birth time for Jenna Jameson. Because if you don't know who Jenna Jameson is, she was born. We were born on the same day. Me and her, we were born on the same day, same year. We're the same age. I'm afraid to look at what she looks like now. It's been a while since I looked. Like, she used to I threw away movies she was in the garbage that like had her original face on it. Like, she was gorgeous. But I'm not gonna leave that out in the world. I'm trying to perpetuate a world so people live less lustful hearts. And so what I've come to know to be true is that if I do what I want to do 100% of the time, that's not good for me. That there has to be a balance between doing things I don't want to do and doing things that I want to do. And that's all that life is, And then I ended up in the military where I didn't do things that I wanted to do like all the time. And then anyway, that was weird. But then what I figured out is like based on our astrology designates the course of our life. But my astrology says go, 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 always do what you want, escape. Do what you want, escape, blah, 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 do all this stuff, right? Like, indulge. So I have, whenever I feel the way that, whenever I really want to feel like being me, that's when I have to go over there and pick up those weights. Because I can't go to the gym and spend hours and hours and hours. And people that do that, they're stuck in their own loops, like hamsters in a wheel, like hamsters in a cage, like all those times I see the same guy walking, or just for fitness, like or riding a bike, or anybody that does the same thing over and over. I'm trying to create a world. Ultimately what I want to have a travel center, and at this site, I'm gonna have people where like we could have on the job training, right? And so I'm going to stop paying a company to make my stickers, and I'm just going to make them there and then show travelers, young people that don't know where they want to be yet. They're just trying to figure it out where they're trying to be, and then I could help them because I was in maintenance. I have an IT background. Like, I can stay put yet invite selectively, like a trade school of things that I have found valuable that maybe young people would want to cut out all the rest. I'm so excited to see people learning a trade. I can't believe it how stoked I am for Michael the Peace Dealer. He did a reading for me some years back. He's down in LA. I was born in San Bernardino, so technically I'm a LA land because it's all the same frequency. So like interdimensional beings, it's nothing ever out there. It's however you perceive what's out there from in here. And that's what people are waking up to, and I'm really happy for it because these are things that I've always believed in. And there's this young girl on TikTok who's getting a little overwhelmed. I think she needs to maybe look at that. Anyway, that's cool. I'm like an ant. I want to be an ant. I just want to take care of people without weird stuff, without freaky. I'm not a big on that all that stuff, but you know what I mean. Like I could be related to your mom. Evidently, we found like 25. I don't. What was that? What was that? The ancestry email. I'm like, oh wow, I have all of these relatives, and none of them none of them want to know me. Well, one of them does. I'm not a mom. I take care of my mom, so I am a caregiver. I have Cancer rising too, and Scorpio moon, Aries sun. So I'm a caregiver. I give care, but I ain't no. I as far as I concerned, ain't nothing ever come from my loins. I think I'm convinced that they messed with my body when I was. I know that they. No, I'm not convinced. Mom told me stories how they used to stick big needles in her, and then now there's storyline of the inverts, and coming from my father's family. See, I found all this stuff out like late in life. Like I hear stories about the Freemasons and sacrificing and hunting kids, right? And then I remember stories about how when mom was a kid, like we had to move to Reading because she's like, if you don't listen to me, like she was freaked out one time, and I remember I'll never forget it. She's like, they want to hunt you in the woods in Montana, and I'll never forget that. And I was like, she's like, you need to listen to me, and so because I was everywhere. I was a squirrely little autistic kid. So, and so like my reality has was my reality in the 70s and 80s, and then now I'm finding out my reality is dark of my life. And I still manage to smile and want to take care of people because of all the darkness I've been through. And I think those are the true, I don't know, I hear words like light workers, star seeds, all these words these catchphrases people put around. I tried to listen to the Leo Cub last night. He talks with this lady and they talk about history. They could talk about my relative. Stop doing that. Stop smoking. Vape stuff. I don't like smoking. Okay, I'm going to be real with you, homie. Little homie, this is what I'm here to do. I'm going to give you the tough love cuz I don't know no other kind. So okay, so this is what you're going to get. Smoking is you allowing spirits in you, and they will drive you. You will never be able to be in control of your own body because you'll always have to, I need a cigarette. No, you don't, dude. You got energy in you. You're trying to, yeah, it is. Because you know what? Cancer is a big deal. And people don't think drinking's a big deal. And let me tell you a story about Steve, my friend I never met. The guy who at the end of his life, because drinking was never such a big deal. It's a big deal because it gets people to believe it's not a big deal. Go read, what the devil would have you do. What the devil. It's just all the devil wants you to do is do whatever you want to do and never discipline yourself. No, it is. It's allowing, dude. How many people? I used to be friends with people that killed people and didn't have a whole lot of remorse. That's why I couldn't be friends with them anymore. Like I'm like, dude, like you took a life. You should be so for you. They didn't even care. Like a lot. And I used to drink a lot. That's why I tell people don't drink. I used to smoke a lot. I started smoking when I was 15. The first time I smoked in Mary Jane, I was 12, but then didn't do it for years. But I'm autistic. I mean, that was like a lifesaver because I knew that existed. Because my body knew that I could see. Because alcohol would make alcohol gives me demons, and then people get scared. People get scared of my demons. They're like my friends. Baby, it's just so bad. But see, they're not. Only people that want you to do things that they want to do will try to influence you. Right? Like, yeah. They're not your friends because, like, it's bad for you. So anybody that's your friend would want you to not do things that are bad for you. Like, that's the point of friendship. Like, and I always did that, and then people didn't like me for it. Oh, here's some. Here's some magnets. So I'll walk around Taos if anybody's around. Anywhere I'll go and I'll leave these. I'm like, they call us, I don't know, I just like to spread good stuff. Somebody is doing where I live in New Mexico, they're doing $1,000 giveaway. They like to do Traveler hunts. I used to go to the club too. I was 15. First show I ever saw was a band called Primus. It was in a place called Chico. I got hit on, like literally. I was standing there watching a band after the show. Yeah, Mom didn't care. I grew up in Redding. It's a dark place. I'm Gen X, man. We didn't have a whole lot of. So I went to go see Primus, kick-ass band. If you ever want to check them out, and freaking went to a bar after because I always look older. And then went to a bar after, and some dude kept hitting me with his elbow, and I was like, finally, dude, I was like, hey, like, what the fuck, like, why, don't touch me, and I walked back and went back and joined my friends. And my friends are like, Marge, don't you know who that was? And I said, no, I don't care, some jerk that was invading my personal space. He said, Marge, that's Les Claypool. He's the lead singer of Primus, the band you just saw. Yeah, see, I had buddies I was in the military with. My defense, like, because dudes would try to, and I couldn't fight them off, like, that would make work. So I would just, like, I would do the pass out card. How many women do the, pass out card? I mean, I could punch him in the face, but then we gotta go to the first shirt. Like, do I want to he's a married guy with 3 kids. He ain't gonna get a paycheck no more. He's gonna get, he got himself kicked out later, but that ain't, like, I already got into my own trouble with in the military from alcohol. I got DUI. What the devil would have told you. It's by a guy by Paul Harvey. I'm going to see if I can't link the talk. Damn it! Jenna Jameson didn't age well. I mean, I got a couple tattoos, but I don't believe in plastic surgery, all that ego stuff, all that marketing gimmicky. That's all external beauty stuff, and I think people are beautiful from the inside. I quit smoking in 2010, and one of my motivating factors was people that smoke, they get these weird lines. I got like one. Calvin was my first. This is me, like my if they want, like, I don't know, I ain't like Beyonce or nothing like that. That's standing turtle. My first one was Calvin. This was like 94, 93. Then I got that one from my sister that died a couple years ago. Just living that junkie go fast lifestyle on the racing around on her Harleys and scoring, fitting all lace doped at the casino and then losing her life as a result. Visit there. Okay, so here's the video of that Harvey guy. Listen to it later if you don't believe me. Plus, he has a cool voice. He's got like a grandpa voice. Let's see. Share. So I got to copy link. And then I got to turn the volume down because I can't stand the sound of my own voice. Go to my channel. View channel. Live. Paradigm Drift. I like tattoos. They make me go to sleep. I don't know if I could get any more because that's my link. That's the link. Because I already have enough heavy metal toxins. I need to get this heavy metal taken out of my teeth and have ceramic put in. But it just hasn't happened yet. I do ionic foot soaks. Those are good. I eat clean. I wouldn't say I eat healthy. I say I eat clean. I did when I was 40. Although I am sad because I miss my janky ass teeth. I think kids on the street would take me more serious if I still had my janky ass teeth. Just know that I came from very poor, meager. That's why I'm so giving, because like back when Mom would about kill herself to go a part of the program that is dying now of Christmas and all that stuff. You started crying because you were sad because you missed the old you, or because you like the new you. Which one is it? Please clarify. That's cool that the Utes are here, because I am here for the Utes, because I assure you. I liked how I look. I had the big metal braces. I was 40. I went to Hammond, Louisiana with braces. Like, I look good with braces. I only had to wear them for a year and a half. My brother... See, I believe I know, I've come to find evidence that, like, you know how people have this tooth missing right here? In my mind, from what I've learned in the education in the past that I have followed, that's true to me, that's that I'm mad at my mom tooth. So when you have people, because it's true, like your teeth are attached to each organ, so you know how healthy you are. And so my dad when he was 75, he ripped out all of his teeth just to get fake ones. That's cool. See, that fire feeling is confidence. And that is given to you by how you feel about yourself, to me, by doing good, noble deeds. Because I went to war and a lot of people died because I just went to work and did my job. And then whenever I see Scrooge movies, and I'm reminded that chains are lives that were negatively impacted by something that I done, that weighs me down a lot. So I gotta keep it light and give people stickers. Yeah, I'm in New Mexico. I say Fresno, but I that's only because I have family that are there today. I'm all over. I've been everywhere. We've only been here 5 years now. We lived here 5 years now. And you want to hear a funny story? Want to hear trip ass shit based on frequency and my whole belief in frequency? And because I'm a truth seeker, I've been seeking the truth my whole life. And mom was adopted. Because I didn't know where my face came from. I knew where my face came from, where my dad's side was, but he's such a dick, and his family was such, the Freemasons, they were such jerks to me, because they didn't like my mom, that they took, it was just a nightmare. So, we end up in New Mexico. It's a little armpit town called Taos, okay? And then after we moved here, mom and I, before we left, mom did an ancestry DNA test thing. You spit in a cup. You're in New York. That's rad. There's a lot of pickpockets in government here. I'll come out. I'll set up a place for travelers can come, and you guys can, when the weather's nice, pitch a tent and then help me around the compound. Do work I can't do because my body is falling apart as much as I like to pretend it's not. I've been to New York. I was in New York. I liked New York in New York 2007. That's when I was in New York. I got to play tourist. I was on the Today Show. It was cool. Yeah, people ruin everything. That's why I want to make a place where I connect with people, and then they come visit, because I can't go gallivanting around, because soon mom's got to get up, as a matter of fact, because I take care of mom still, and her routine takes over mine. So after we moved here to Taos, New Mexico, and we didn't start out coming to Taos when we left Salem, Oregon. We left to get to... and we left for Flagstaff, and then that was a nightmare oven by itself. And then we got invited here to live in a crappy ass trailer where I fed 22 cats, and that's another story within itself. Only to find out that mom was born in Cuesta, which is 22 miles north, and actually met her cousin and her nephew, and I met her niece. And I've met blood relatives, and not one of them has hey, let me. One of them came to see her, but then figured, I don't have any way that I could take advantage of her or use her for money. So, she got thrown away by her family twice. That's why it's so important to me to show the whole world, fuck you, what people can do to take care of your family. And my brother is a big important lawyer. He's a lawyer for the state of California. The guy makes $240,000 a year. And I was like, help me, dude. I don't know what to do. That was one of the most scared I ever been, is potentially being homeless with, at the time, 5 dogs, a cat, and mom. And it changed me. And so I was like, all this shit is not real. My sister worked at a dive bar in Glendale, fucking Arizona, and now she's dead. So, a job's a job. I want to help. That's the thing, is I have more respect for people that work for Hooters, because our government is so shit. And I know this because they're run by people like my brother, who I've reached out to and said, dude, I need help. And he's like, mom's your problem. Put her in a home and get rid of 2 of your dogs. And I'm autistic. I don't think like the world. Navigating and getting as far as I did in the world, it's just because I'm a good ass actor, and I got to a point that I can't act no more, or whatever. And so, I couldn't go to work and stuff. No, don't do that. Don't sell yourself. When I lived in don't tell her not. No. I'm trying to make a place where people. That's what they do. Is the fucking asshole pervs that talk the trickle down economics assholes. They fucking, the perverts. They make it hard for young people, and people fostered out. My mom grew up in an orphanage. The stuff that happened to her is no different than the stuff that... Don't do that. Don't let people see your parts, because once it's on the internet, it's on there. Those are private parts. Those are aspects of yourself that you're giving up to give to other people so they can do weird, pervy stuff. Don't perpetuate that. Just stay in your. I just want young people to stay. She's the fucking. You just won the internet. I tried. This funny. When I lived in Salem, I was 41, 42. That is fucking funny as shit, Mom. Mom was too. So, but I wasn't like I was like, okay, I can't pay rent and I need to pay rent because the VA cut my benefits and stuff. Like, I was going through a really hard time. I sobered up again. I started drinking after 13 years sober because I was so I wasn't in control of my life. So let's blow this bitch up all the way. And then I had to get sober again because I had to legit figure out like how I was gonna pay bills. So I was in Craigslist. I'm like, what are the code words to try and find out? That's rad. That's cool. You do, but you don't have no adults to look up for. That's what I'm trying to represent. I'm trying to be like the homie that I would have liked to have had to be like, no, don't enlist. Don't do this. Keep your clothes on. Keep it in your. You don't want no kids. You know, don't do just don't go part of the program. Give yourself learn astrology. Everybody needs to know their birth chart because there's always times when less is more. Your dad's cool. I'm probably as old as your dad, or your dad is probably as old as me. I'm probably older than your dad. I probably got a good 10 years on your dad. That's funny. I'm gonna in freaking April. I'm gonna be 52. It's hard for my mouth to say it, but I stay young because I make candy. I make grown-up candy, medicine. I take flour and I infuse it into MCT oil. Oh, we're the same age. That's rad. Show this bitch, tell this chick that you saw on the internet that's still fit and shit and still active and stuff, and then if you want them to ever go out and do stuff with you, but you can't get them up off the couch, tell them, but Marge, Marge said you'll live longer if your heart races enough to pump. That's what people sit around so much, and then something happens and their heart like beats fast, and then they blow gaskets. So, how you doing, Ma? You cozy?
Yes.
You just listening to me yammer?
Yes.
You like? She loves listening to me talk. She's listening to my monologues for years. Well, there's lots of cowboys in New Mexico. Taos is. I'm trying to make. He wants don't. Texas is the shape of a toilet for a reason, man. It's gonna be one of those places that unless he wants to experience the storyline of flooding, like Washington is now. I had a dream 2-3 years before we left Salem, and the water was rising, and I knew it was ocean water, and I said, that's when I threw it out to Creator. I said, wherever you want me and mom to be, wherever you want family to be safe. That's cool. Though I'm sure at some point I'm going to say something to piss you off. That's why I'll have low subs, because I don't subscribe to people a lot. So I don't expect, because like attracts like, it's universal law. So I don't expect people to subscribe to me because I don't subscribe to people. So it's like, it's just, but I come from the generation that you say the tough love thing, you say the thing, and you piss people off, but then you get over it and come back because there's the good outweighs the bad. But we live in a place now where the bad has outnumbered the good, and we got to swing that back around. So, because people like me don't do videos. If I came across your FYP, it's because either I'm here to teach you something, or you're here to teach me something. Because I'm a teacher, and I like learning from people, and I don't take ages. It's just people they don't have boundaries and they cross them and stuff. So we gotta be respectful of everybody and where they are in their time and space. That's why I'm good for all ages, because like I'm good at taking care of mom in ways that's good for her, not ways that are comfortable for me. And we're coming into the age, I guess she's a boomer, so I want to make it easier for people to do things at home that they like to do, and they can be creative and express themselves, and then go gather and meet in their community so they can buy stuff to support themselves. Church, mom used to make us go to church, and see, that tells me that your mom was looking to show you that the power is within us. Because ultimately, that's what my path. There's never a power out there. There's never a government out there. You know what governments are? White dudes that can't change tires and do like gay stuff in secret. There's a whole thing in the military. It's called gay while away. It's everything's a facade. Everybody is trying to get a group of people to believe that they're different than they are, and I'm about getting people to be who they really are. You low-key said, well, that's your path, learn astrology, and it helps at least determine when you're gonna do it. I got all the sin and blood in me. That's the thing. I was just telling somebody recently, is like, I don't care what people are. You could be a lizard. You could, one of them lizard colonial people. I'm a half-blood. You could be, I don't care what people, it's people, all sinning is you're chasing sensations. All sex is chasing a sensation. And some people can get those same sensations with meditating. You don't even need another person to have the same outcome as a sensation in your body. See, but that's just silly. Because go by the experience that you have with the person. All the people that hate me, I have done nothing to. I think about, like, man, they really hate me. They really don't like me. Like, they really, and I think in my whole life, all the people that have gone, I've been on their naughty list. And I'm like, and that's only because they hate themselves. And I like myself. And like attracts like. And because I like myself, they hate themselves. Because they hate themselves. And if they like themselves, they would like me. Because people that like themselves, but you can't do shit things all the time. One of the worst movies I ever saw, I was mad at the person that I said, well, how dare you make me watch that movie? Is that movie called Kids? That person made me watch movies that, like, gave me a visceral physical feeling of ick. And, like, there are other people that did that, too, that would watch snuff films and stuff. And I'm like, I can't hang out with you if this is the stuff that you people are doing. Because that's not, to me, I'm a pastor, too. I got ordained years ago. To me, God is just good orderly direction. Don't do things to cause harm. Not now or years later. Don't get a bug. There's so many people with freaking, that are dirty in their nether regions. Yeah, right now I'm listening to Mumford and Sons, but I was just listening to One Day. It helps me, I'm constant. Life is better with a soundtrack. I got 4 sets of these same Bose headsets, just in case one breaks. I was in the 80s, I had a Walkman. I'm the OG autistic. Aspie autistic. OG Aspie. I'm an OG Aspie. I refer to myself as nacho neurotypical. I kind of want to make nachos, too. I make candy, grown-up candy. I don't know, 17? You said you're the oldest, so you got whip it lingo. See, I ain't up on the lingo of the youth. I just I have my own vocabulary as it is. I'm a heyoka, is what they say. That's the only term I'll fall in line with. You're 19. See? 19. So 19. See, I have nieces and nephews in Sacramento and Fresno. I don't. Because I would still make the same bad decisions. I am absolutely content with every stupid thing I ever did and every stupid thing I stopped doing too. Those are the ones that got me where I am. And not choosing to drink every day. I did that for years. I was bad. Because, dude, I got so much Pisces in me. I don't have any Earth, so I'm not grounded to the planet. I never lived on the same planet as everybody else. Like, people are doing Christmases every year with ho-ho and seeing... No, our Christmases were driving... We're on a Greyhound bus making some judge happy that my grandma was friends with because it was miserable for my mom. Because nepotism and the Bros Club and all that stupid stuff. So, yeah. From San Luis Obispo or from Fresno or Bakersfield to Redding. That's how long it would take. And then I'd always, like in my head, I would always think we're going to get there hours early because it only takes 8 hours to drive. Nope. There's a schedule and you got to go through every little stupid back fucking town. I've been so in parts I've been in I've been so places all over. Never go back. Like, you eat food, right? You eat a great meal. This is a good analogy. Never... Because I went back and forth with a gal. 8 years we were on and off. There would be years in there we wouldn't speak or look at each other for a year and a half, and we'd see each other regular, like several times. And we just, like, she was a Taurus. I'm an Aries. I don't date Taurus or Pisces because that's too close to me. I'm gonna date myself. But, like, you eat a good meal, and then the next day, you know, you crap that meal. Are you going to eat it good because it was good the first time? No. That's why you don't go back. She went on to do great things. I don't know if she still does, but she cut that Jason Kelsey guy's hair. And she like on her she's standing in there with Ed, so she sold her soul essentially. Yeah, no, the girl that I did not end up with cheated on me all the time. I just don't think, that's not, I don't know. Peg jokes are funny. Is that what I think it is? I learned about pegging in Fairbanks, Alaska from a guy that I worked with. People openly share with me, my education is based on things I never wanted to learn, ever. And he was like, yeah, I can't wait to get home, you know, and he'd share. He would bring me into the bedroom, like, he would share, and I would just be like, no, I'm pretty sure there's policies that say that you shouldn't be telling me this. But see, because people tell me things, and I have such an imagination that I can't. So maybe there's nothing wrong with it. No, see, nobody needs to be hitting. That's a red flag. I'm seeing red flags. I'm seeing red flags. So you're in New York. So what? Okay, so you're in New York. So I spend a lot because I believe that we live in a contrived reality. They create how we feel based on our weather and stuff, and like electric frequency and things like that. That's part of my shtick, to give you like the shell of a nut. So you're new. I use Wendy a lot. So this morning I looked at Wendy, and this is pretty much what the United States. There's a lot of people having life experiences right now based on their attunement and their alignment. Because when people are at storms and have conflict within themselves, we create these weather patterns by living the same patterns in our life. Yeah? Picking up what I'm putting down? So you're in New York. So if you got any discrepancy, this is coming. Dude, I had some of the best pizza I ever had in New York. I think I went back to go look up the pizza place. Mind you, it was in 2007. And I saw Curtains with Bob Hoskins. That was like a big deal for me. This is back when because I always lived off Earth, but then being part of 3D Earth, like, because the first movie I ever saw in LSD, I was 15, and it was Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the dude that played the cop in the cop, Bob Hoskins. I saw him, and Niles on Frasier was in a movie called Curtains. So there's a lot of people, cold hearts, cold hands. So you got a cold heart, you're going to create a reality. But you got a warm heart, you're going to have everything you need within the storm. Because as within, so below. Like, that's how I look at it. That's how through my astrology, this is how I perceive life. And a lot of people, that are having the worst experience they ever had, well, would it be such a bad experience if while you having all these good experiences that you went out and helped people that had worse experiences than you? That's what has sustained me. That's what creator, because I keep creating, because I've been a part of destruction, because I keep creating stickers and give people freaking weed caramels and gummies and shit like that are of age that I pass on the street because they look like they could use a good day. And mine are like time traveling candies and cookies. Like before you know it, 4 hours have gone by. And I just, and I could make, like, I have the means to make freaking lobster fucking or boils for homeless people and, like, treat the people like all the religions Jesus Christ and shit say, treat them well, raise the bottom of society, the dredge of society. Then they don't want to put that needle in their arm because that fucking French fries was so rad, because that food was so good that it changed their body chemistry, and I'm trying to build a community everywhere I go to find local farmers. I spent $22 on a freaking grass-fed steak that makes me want to live another day. Like, I know how to make food so good with ingredients, so quality, and it's all about the sauce. It's banging sauce, because food builds community where people gather and then their senses open up, and then all you want to do is feel good and share that goodness with other people, not hoard it and hold it and put money in a bank and, It's not about butt stuff. America's built on butt stuff, and that's the illusion that needs to fucking fall down because I'm related to Isaac Walton, who was in, who was a forefather. I just the nepotism never granted in my favor, but we ended up back where Mom was born because DNA is genetics and genetics is magnetics and everything is woo-woo. They just create a program, an illusion. Give kids video games and football, and they'll never want to go out and create anything themselves. But these young people now, it's like I had to wade through all the bullshit of the generations ahead of me and behind me just so I could be tried and true for these young people now that want to go out and they know how good it I bet you're 19. I bet, how much fun would you like to have to go out and sit in a big old excavator and move earth? Right? When I was 18, I wouldn't have drank as much alcohol if I would have had the same opportunities that other people I knew had. They got to go do the cool shit. Like, infrastructure would not be dissolving now. We wouldn't be worried about everybody losing their house up in Washington because the whole community will gather to rebuild. So nobody got a trip. I want to have fun a lot too. It's balance though. Because it's just like, think of your thing. No, my hair is not dyed. I'm old. It's halfway not even there. I just cut it this morning. No, I used to dye my hair. I'm much older than I look. I look kind of young, but the lights are off for a reason. I was just saying, man, my wrinkles are really starting. It's wisdom. Every time I do this, I'm figuring something out. The wheels are turning. So, and then when people don't have facial expressions, I can't see what they are. So they just must be autopiloted by all those I just want to have fun demons. Think about your favorite thing to eat in the whole entire world, whether it's I can't stand McDonald's and Taco Bell. I used to love it, like everybody else. I do what you want. I don't think I'm not here to tell no. I tell people what I did and then the consequences of that. I know that when you do that, it wrecks your hair. I'm glad it didn't wreck mine. But I don't have a whole lot of hair. Imagine how much hair I would have if I had a whole head of hair. I'm a hothead. I'm a hothead because I'm run by frequency. When I was in the military, they gave me 8 anthrax vax. I don't know. I'm kind of a naturalist. I tried it when I was 15, but I don't know. I just because I could tell who the real people and the fakes are by if I like every person I see out there that has Botox Betty or fake or like they got they're all labels. That's like all they are sponsored by the labels that they drive. Like Jeep drivers and all. Like I got this, but this is my experience. This is not everybody's. Like, look at it like this. You know those map legends? You know what a map legend is? Where you designate. You know what a map is? I don't know. Young people don't know what a map is. Young people don't know what maps are. Maps are how we used to navigate through the world. And they were still even questionable. Okay. Bird. Ugh. Okay, so I found this walking home from the shop one day. This is a new, I found it, it flew off their car or something. It's a New Mexico map. At the beginning of every map, they have a legend. Oh, here's a USA map. Boop, boop. I have seen so much of this United States that it tells me that the rest of the world is a complete lie. Oh, look, it has all kinds of. I thought it was just. I was like, how are you gonna have just a map for New Mexico? That's dumb. But it does have other stuff. So within the map, there are legends. In every map. Oh, here's one. Here's an example of one. Here's a legend in a map. So they designate how things are before you set things out on the path. Okay? So that's how things are. So it's all like the red line is always a primary line. It's always a primary line. It's never not going to be a red dash. Okay? No, I don't have time, and life is a video game. And whenever I go out into Taos, I'm like, you know how I play Subway Surfer. I play that's the only mainstream game I play, and because that's how I see life is like us as the perceiver. There's nothing out there until we go out there to see it, like the background. And when I go out and I see people that spend all this money to show the world what wonderful human beings they are, Because where I live, it's hard to get to Taos. So you're wasting a lot of life, energy, and money to what? Eat different food and shit in a different toilet? Like, what good do you bring to the community? Because this place never changes. It's like being stuck in the past. They have the Taos Pueblo here. It's like been here for 1400, and I'm like, yeah, it's a long time for you people not to get your shit together, but whatever. You're gonna have pride about that, but pride is a fucking, it's a fool's emotion. So they have these legends. So we have these legends. Yeah, I'm a total. That's why this is funny. That's why this is funny because I. It says straight people like rainbows too. It's cheeky because I'm not. There's this gas station that just burned down on the outside of Castro in San Francisco. I just am not in for perversion. Like doing things against people's will and influencing people with drugs and alcohol. Like getting people to do things that they would, like, that is perverse to me. Because there's a lot of freaky people that get turned on, in private places. That's none of my business. That's none of my concern. I support people that do the right thing. Well, I should be a transgender person. That's what they programmed me to do. They put stuff into me. She's not. She just has never known any. She's part of the program. There's lots of parts of the program. She's just gone with the, that's weird. Like, she just don't know any different way. You get people out of towns and cities, they start looking at the stars and thinking about astrology, and all that stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people are, it matters with what they do with what they are. Tell her that, if you're born a guy, be a guy. See, I don't think I necessarily would have been gay, maybe if they wouldn't have put stuff in me when mom was pregnant. And maybe I wouldn't have been gay if I wouldn't have been raped as a 10-month-old baby. But that happened. And it happens all the time. So so that's why I can't imagine being with any man at all, because that in my body will never forget, like, if this, then the potential for that. And then anytime, like, I would cross a possum that likes it rough, I would be like, what's wrong with you? Because to me, that's not natural. To wanna, like, you're not a bear in the woods. You're not a tiger. So, like, all that aggression, like that, what are you trying to make an aggressive being? Like, I don't, that's just all weird warp thinking stuff. Yeah, see, I never had kids because I didn't want to perpetuate that generational nonsense. You know why your mom probably put cameras in your room? Because she was probably worried that you were going to do the same exact stuff that she was doing. And that probably scared her, that you were going to be those parts of her. Because that's all that, when we're a child, born to two parents, all we are is all the genetic junk and little flowers raise the sunshine. All the garbage and all the goodness that comes from our parents gets dumped into us. So we get the goodness and trash. And if they want to overcompensate and pretend like they're good, but they're not, and they're really, then we gotta overcomp, and then the whole world is worried about, Venus, we're going to war. It's just, dude, it's just, all they like to do is blow things up. It's weird to put, dude, we live in a surveillance state. Like, there's a lot of technology that cameras are reversed. Like, if they want to know who you are and what you're doing, if they see like you're going to hold enough significance in your existence that you need to be monitored of, there's either two things that you can do. I just don't give people anything to look at. Like, like I have a YouTube channel. If you want to watch me, come over there and watch me there, like you know what I mean? But we live in a surveillance state because everybody that's in a city planner capacity knows somebody that sells video equipment, and it's all about the deals. So that's what America is. It's about selling shit. It's about but it's a disingenuous place because people chase sensations by doing weird shit, by lying, by cheating, by stealing. I've been dealing with Chewy for like a year and a half. Chewy saw me through 3 of my 4 dogs dying this last year. And so now Luna she just gets all the good stuff. And so, but a dude showed up the other day and he didn't have my package. And then he was trying to haw and lie about it. So I had to call Chewy, be like, I don't know, because he marked it delivered. He marked it. If he would have said it's not delivered, I would have maybe in my heart could have believed that it's out there, cold, in a corner someplace by itself, waiting for someone to pick it up and bring it to me. But no. Homeboy just was not good at his job, made a mistake, and couldn't cop to it. So I didn't get my shit, and I had to call the company. So I called the company. And they sent out new stuff. So they're like, so they sent out 2 emails. Your package is being delivered today. Are they the same order or is it a different order? Hard to tell. 252? Oh, they're 2 separate orders. I just can't with Planet Earth. I can't with Planet Earth. I missed the chat. See, I'm on an iPad. Sometimes I do a talk. Mom's going to get up soon, so I'm going to get going. Sometimes I do it on my iMac. It seems like I get more traction. Okay, let me give you a perspective on your mom real quick. See, your mom my mom was born with 2 club feet. She had 2 deformed club feet. Although she was a looker, she was gorgeous. She couldn't be on her feet a lot, right? And back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, like she got kicked out when she was 18. Her adoptive family stopped getting the check from the state, so they put her out on her birthday with a set of luggage. She didn't know how to take care of herself. So what she did what they did on TV is find a man. So she found a man, John Cook. They married. He was like a merchant marine. Like it didn't work out because she don't know about discernment and stuff. She was raised Catholic, just be a good girl, and she had to learn about life, and then came across my dad. Okay? And so a lot of time I'm trying to make a society. I told you how when I was in Oregon, I didn't know how to pay rent, and I was looking on Craigslist. Where do I go to make porn? I'll do it. Where do I go? I was 42 years old. Where do I go? Because I'll do it. I'll sell my soul. I'll sell my body. I'll give up parts of myself. Because I got to pay rent. So Mom and me ain't homeless and the dogs. And I got to keep feeding the dogs. And, right? And then God just said, good worldly direction. That's what I believe in. Keep your clothes on. Keep things private, And made way that we didn't have to do that. And here we are 5 years later, comfortable as 2 bugs in a rug because we never did that, But I want to make a world, like, what would your mom, ask your mom someday, like, Mom, if you didn't have to make the choices that you had to make, what choices would you have made? And then maybe, I don't know, if you're out there in the world seeing something that would help her live that life, maybe get that thing for her and help her, align. That's what I learned in recovery. Is like learn how people are from where they are coming from, not what I'm looking at her from. Like I'm sure she didn't want to sell herself. That's not something that women want to do. What they want to do is they want to give their kids those things that society tells them are important, so that they fit in with the people that society deems important, like Nike shoes. I was always Vans. Now my feet are fucked up, but that's part of my Pisces path. But I'm sure she didn't want to do it. Nobody, but you go to, if you ever go to AA women meetings, you are surrounded by women that have been sober a long time. You are surrounded by a lot of women that sold their ass or had to give it up from somebody that took it, because that just goes hand in hand with that world. You ready to get up, Ma? Huh? You are? Oh my gosh, it's after 11. All right, thanks for hanging out. I'll be back later. It's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.